Fez, how you doing? I know you've been going through a rough day, right?
Yeah, very, very stressful. It actually started over the weekend where Grandma is what they call unresponsive now at the nursing home.
So that's...
So she's not taking in any food. She hasn't eaten since Thursday.
Right.
So she's 98 years old. She's supposed to be 99 next month.
Uh-huh.
But what they've told us is now it's pretty much a matter of days.
Wow.
Before Grandma goes.
I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. And I know your dream, and I jumped along with you, as we always wanted her to make it to the Smuckers shout-out during the Today Show.
The Willard Scott happy birthday. She was the only one of us that didn't want it.
Yeah.
So she's been in bad shape for a while.
Right. It's not really helpful to live that age.
Seriously, like in the past few days before she went unresponsive, the only thing she would say is help.
Help, I don't want to...
Yeah, just, she was in pain.
So, that puts you in an awkward situation. You're far away from home,
Oh, yeah.
Not like they say be here now or...
Yeah, I got cousins that are already there that have shown up. I got aunts and uncles from across the country that are on their way. So, and I get updates from my sister and my dad, but it's not the same. Everyone's gone to say goodbye except me. It's just really stressful right now.
Well, you know what? We just went through this with my chick's grandmother. Like, what do? Do you get down there before she goes or wait till after so you can be with the family at the funeral? And it's just... everyone's family is kind of far apart from each other now. It's not like the old days where, the sisters would get houses next to each other and the cousins would play together. So it's really difficult to know what to do in these family situations.
Yeah, so, I'm going to wait and hear what happens like in the next 24 hours.
Who is your go-to guy? Is it Corky, your brother?
No, Corky cannot handle this whatsoever.
Yeah.
Corky is an emotional man. He's like, he would like miss Christmas dinner or something and be, just because he's out on a binge or something.
Right.
But if it comes to death, like when when the pit bull got put to sleep, he just sobbed. He goes into Grandma's room at the nursing home to see her and just sobs. Neighbors die. He's on the same emotional level no matter who it is who's dying.
So you got to cut the obituary page out of the paper because he can't even read about strangers.
No, he can't hold it together whatsoever.
Yeah.
About any of this. So my dad calls me pretty much every day, but it's his mother, and he's pushing 70, and he's got his mother that he's dealing with.
Yeah, that's tough.
So all I
can have Dobbs stuff by and see her, but other than that, I don't know what to do for you, buddy. I know it's a rough thing.
Yeah,
and I would say go now. You know what I mean? Like just leave and go tonight, but. You never know if that's the right thing either.
Yeah, you can't, she's been through heart attacks, she's been through strokes, she's fallen out of bed and busted her skull, and she sits back up like the Undertaker. But now this is like the one time where it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
She's like she would grab your hand if you held her hand.
Right.
That stopped. Her hands are kind of like actually frozen in a position almost like rigor mortis has already set in.
And she's been in good shape until the last couple of years, though. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
But then once it started to go bad for her, it went really bad.
Yeah. Once she had the heart attack, the first heart attack.
I go to this wedding at Fez's, and I guess his grandmother's wearing these headphones, right? She just would wear a headphone so she could hear the wedding. And I'm like, what's up with your grandmother? And he says to me, oh, she's listening to the FSU game. And I'm like, damn, I'm sitting in this church for his stupid brother's wedding, on a Saturday, going, I wish I had those headphones. I wish there was other headphones. I mean, I'm thinking, what a great fan she is. It's just like a fish. I take the hook.
Yeah, it was some sort of device she had where she could put like hold a microphone out.
It's like Mr. Microphone she's rocking.
And it goes right into her headphones so she could hear the service because she's just stone deaf now.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah.
I'm almost deaf from this job, so I can imagine what's going to happen.
But she always knew, who was playing the Buccaneers at a football game.
Right.
I mean, even up until a year or so ago.
Yeah, she was saying like the Super Bowl meant a lot to her, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. She was just a huge fan, and she just knew everything that was going on. The other week that she started to, the thing about her was even though the body was failing, the mind was still really strong always.
Right.
And my sister, who got divorced a few years ago, she went in to see her last week, and Grandma looked at her and said, "How's the divorce coming?" And that was something that Grandma never even got told about.
Right.
So
they love it though.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So she's getting her shots in on the way out the door, which is nice.
You know, I think about this. Anytime there's like a bad story in the news, there was the stuff that my grandmother would hook onto, you know what I mean? Like she would have loved the story about the guy going into the church and shooting everybody up. Oh, that's awful. Did you see that? It's terrible what's going on. And like every time I would talk to her, she would take whatever horrible story. Oh, did you hear about that woman drowning her own kids? That's awful. And you know, that was her only thing of current events that she would get in, was just the most twisted possible story.
My other grandmother, when she was in this state years and years ago, she had an older sister who was still alive, lived to be 99, and just the meanest old aunt we ever had, just a hideous woman. No one ever liked her. Her little sister, my grandmother, sweetest thing as could be. Well, my grandmother was always bossed around by her older sister. I mean, just talked to unbelievably nasty. Old, right? Yeah, all the time. And they were saying goodbye to my grandmother as she was dying, and Grandma came out of her coma, looked her sister in the eye, and said, "You are the biggest liar I've ever met." And went back down, closed her eyes, and went to the great beyond. And we all just cheered that woman because she got the last word in on this bitch of a older sister of hers. We just cheered. And she goes, "I can't believe what my own sister said to me," as her last words.
That was the, remember when you would always hear old people fight, "I'll remember this on my deathbed." I always remember, when my grandparents would be fighting. I'm like, really? You're going to hold this to the deathbed? You're not going to be afraid of dying? You're still going to hold on to that?
So I don't know what I'm going to do in this situation yet. I'm still waiting. I mean, it's going to be sometime this week. They said probably in the next day or two. You know, the way she's holding on and her breathing.
Why don't you do what I do when it happens in my family, is ignore it. I just, I take the phone off the hook and just have nothing to do with it. And then in a couple of weeks I'll go, "What? You buried her, huh? Oh, jeez. Why didn't somebody call me or email or something?"
She wanted her 6 grandsons to be her pallbearers.
Yeah.
And everyone's bailing out on her now.
Why?
Corky can't do it.
Why not?
He's just, not Bootfoot, Corky.
Oh.
He can't pull himself together to do it.
I thought he didn't have the boot foot that could handle it.
My cousins don't want to do it.
Why wouldn't you want to do it?
I'm in. I'm there.
I'll smack somebody. You suppose she can't walk, damn it. Get down there like a man and carry your grandmother. They're not
She's
men.
really heavy, though, Ron.
I don't care. You got the guys from the funeral parlor who always take the front and back. But I hate when men won't act like men anymore. Like, oh, it's too freaky to be a pallbearer. This is what you're responsible for. It's the whole thing about having a family. You got to be there when you're when there's a baby born. You got to be there to take somebody out. I hate when someone tries to get out of the pallbearer thing. Now, I don't mind if anyone doesn't want to be an usher at a wedding. Nobody wants to be an usher at a wedding. It costs money. You're wearing a bad suit, and you got to wait before you get drunk. But being a pallbearer, you can get drunk early, and it's your responsibility.
Well, the odd thing was it worked out perfectly because, you need 6 pallbearers. She's got 6 grandsons.
Right. Well, give me the phone numbers, Fez, and I'll say meet Fez at that church. You got to take care of that woman. Drives me crazy.
It'll be me.
Although you make me crazy because you're talking about it before it even happened. I feel like we're jinxing her.
Yeah. Certain people tried to start planning a funeral service ahead of time.
Oh,
Mother.
Well, you got to beat the rush.
So, Father got upset with her about that. Let's not do this until she's actually gone. But it's that kind of stress, If I'm away from home, so I'm feeling that stress.
Right.
If I was there, I'd be feeling that kind of stress of everyone getting on each other's nerves.
I know, but you know what? That's like normal stress. It's like you got stress plus guilt.
Oh yeah, I got all that.
Not that there's anything wrong with moving away, But you always have that guilt. Brian, you're just getting it now, right?
Absolutely.
I've lived, with it since I was 17 when I was here. Oh, boy, we could have used you. You know what I mean? It makes you feel bad.
Or you missed the big basketball game over the weekend, but it was great.
What basketball game?
We're
talking about death here, and you're bringing up the fact that your tall family likes to go into the backyard and shoot hoops.
I get it for everything, though. Could have been nice to have you cheer in the stands with us, but you had to move.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, and people don't understand it, or they can't appreciate it, or anything else.
Well, they want to add to it, and then also you have those relatives, normally the sisters, who don't move away, who try to put on the "I was there," and you're like, well, what can I do? Which means,
right?
Is there a check I can send to stop this conversation? How big a check gets me off the hook?
Yeah, my sister actually asked me, "How do you handle the guilt?"
Oh,
she said that to you?
Yes.
Damn it!
I told you what they're like.
Give me the numbers of the guys that won't be the pallbearer, and give me the number of your sister, and I'm going to yell at her. I don't like when anyone makes you feel like that. It makes me crazy. That's my job in life.
One thing that gets me through it is she doesn't know who's in that room and who isn't. Yeah. She's at that point where, she doesn't know what's going on.
I know, that's true.
And she would be the last person to say, yeah, fly down and make a special trip for me.
I know. That's true, too.
But, there's that stress. I'm dealing with this thing with Mikey D all weekend. I got that guilt on me about missing his birthday.
Still?
I got work stress going on. I knew J-Dubs wasn't going to be here tonight.
I talked to Mikey. I know you got the emails. I already talked to him and told him to stop it about whatever little show he did where he attacked you.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
I took care of it.
I appreciate it.
I'm going to take care of that. I'm taking care of this pallbearer thing. And I'm going to have a little talk with your sister. If she ever wants to ride Magic Mountain again, she's going to slow it down.
The Magic Mountain thing I don't feel good about either.
Well, it happened in the past, and now we forget about it, and we're all like family. Believe me.
My little brother's wedding.
I almost feel incestuous about it. I felt so guilty myself. I had to do it, let's just say in a doggy fashion. Because
I don't need any detail.
She looks so much like you, I couldn't look in her face when this happened. I spin her around.
Oh.
You know why, Fez?
Why?
Respect. That's respect between friends.
That's family.
Thanks for the respect.
Bob, you're on Fez.
Hey, I just wanted to say, if you need a pallbearer, I'm in there for you. Just give me a holler.
That's very nice of you, Bob.
I appreciate it.
Because what are we going to do? We're going to, you can't wheel her down the street.
Oh, I know. We're going to have to build some sort of contraption where we pull her across some logs we've cut or something.
But I've noticed this over the years. Over the years, more people are trying to get out of being pallbearers. I've shown up at funerals where I see the funeral guys will come over and do it. I go, okay, now you got strangers carrying somebody's grandmother. That's the young men of the family. You start them off about 14 or 15, and it rolls up until the hair's snow white, and then they can get out of it. And even then, my dad would grab the coffin tomorrow for somebody he didn't even know.
My biggest fear is that I'm going to be asked to speak. I don't mind carrying anything, but I don't want to speak.
You speak. Believe me, people, when you start to talk, put on that Irish brogue of yours, and people will lose it. And point out the people who aren't pallbearers. Say, excuse me, I'm a little winded. I had to carry my grandmother on like these humps, her other grandsons. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Fezzy, Ron, I wanted to comfort Fez a little bit about his grandmother here. I lost my grandfather about 2 years ago due to cancer, and when he went into a coma, if you talk to him, they do understand what you're saying because my grandfather responded to the family, so they can hear you and they understand you. And if you're going to go to the funeral, it makes you feel a lot better if you actually do talk.
If you do the what?
If you actually do talk, it'll about your grandmother and what you thought about her.
Yeah, you'll feel better, he's saying.
You will feel better. So I just wanted to give you some words of encouragement.
If you want, Fezzy, I'll call down there now and have a speakerphone set up for you. We'll do a break.
Just
let her listen to the show.
No, that's all right.
And I'd like to tell her a couple of things about those other grandsons. Give me names. Give me names of the guys who won't do this.
Corky.
Well, I'll do it for you, Fez.
Thank you, brother. I apprate that.
This is turning into like a radio giveaway.
Well, it's not a radio giveaway. It's about respect. It's something that this is his grandmother. These are her grandsons, and now they're acting like it's too much of a problem to be a pallbearer. How about this? Is this too much of a problem? I'll knock you down on the ground, take my thumb, and dig an eye out. Now, wouldn't you rather carry that woman than have an eye dug out?
Yes.
That's the first thing I'd say.
I know I would.
Maybe that should be your speech. somebody's getting their eyes dug out. I'll grab a shovel and chase them all right through the cemetery. That drives me crazy.
Is that going to help, though?
I'm not saying it's going to help, but you got to get out that thing that you feel, that, what's it called when people feel bad?
Pain?
I don't have all, it's like grief. I don't have all the same.
Sorrow.
I only have two emotions. Anger and then sex. And normally I have them at the same time.
When worlds collide.
It's lust and anger are my two emotions. And damn if they're not both together most of the time. Even angry, hunger, Fez. You see me, I'm an angry eater. I'm not going to lie to you. Here's William on a Fez.
Hey, Ronnie boy, would you be a pallbearer at Eddie Trunk's funeral?
With that big thick head of his? I mean, I'm serious. That kid's got a head like a globe. It's scary.
It'll have to be detached and put in its own casket. Its own kiss casket.
You can't detach the head. If that was my brother and they said we're going to... we can't fit the head out, we're going to need a separate coffin, I'd say burn him.
That has burned for days.
Why don't you do this with your grandmother? You have her turn back into ashes, and then you go carrying her under your arm, one person, and say, I want the rest of you to stay away from her. Or do you Lutherans think she can't get into heaven in a genie bottle?
She does not. Well, she's not Lutheran, but she does not.
She's not?
No.
I had no idea.
No, I'm like, my mom and dad were like the first Lutherans of the family.
You know what? You're barely American. You haven't been here long. And you're barely your own religion. You're basically a temp service.
It's all new to me.
But then you act like, oh no, the traditions we have. You're that flag waving American. That's 2 generations. You're the big Lutheran. That's 1 generation.
Grandma has very specific funeral instructions.
What's that?
Just songs that she wants. She's had the clothes, even the undergarments picked out. She had like what she would call her death drawer. I mean, and this is like for the past 40 years, you know?
You know what my grandmother had? It was actually my great-grandmother, because her husband died so many years before. She had her name put on the funeral stone, which was like his name was on one side with the dates. Her name was on the other side, even though she was alive. So we would go out to the cemetery. I'd be with my grandmother looking down, seeing her name on a stone. And the shivers I would have as a kid. And then she's going like this, here's where I'll be. I'm like, please, take your name off of there. It's like a jinx. She goes, jinx what? People die. You're going to die. I'm screaming, you don't know that. I'm a little kid. I'm 5. I don't want to read my grandmother's name laying there in the cemetery when I'm standing next to her.
And the death year at TBA.
And then I'd go like this, and stop pouring a shot over it. It's embarrassing. Just take a little flask out and drop a little whiskey on it. Oh, Fez, I don't know what you're going to do about this. Why don't you just stay up here and forget the whole thing?
I can't forget the whole thing. I have to be there. I have to go.
What do they say in this business? The show must go on.
Well, I mean, I just need a couple days off. I'm not ending the show. I just need a couple days off for a wake and a funeral.
The woman's still alive. You're jinxing. This is the double jinx. Maybe Mikey was right. All right, we're going to take a break.
No, he wasn't.
No, I was the only kid when I was yelling at you, too. You do whatever you need to do. Brian's got it. Right, Brian?
Ron and Brian.
No, Ron. I can't pull myself down. I got one thing in life. I say I sit next to the funny guy. That's my show business thing.
Oh. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that.
They go, how do you prepare for a show? I say, I sit next to Fez. It's easy. Preparation's easy. I put my chair right next to him. Simple.
Well, all game shows end that night.
You're the least funniest person I've ever met in my life.
Oh, my.
And you run a board like it's with your ass cheeks.
That's true. That's 100% true.
Why? You had all day to prepare.
I thought about it all day.
Did you really?
Cracked the knuckles a couple times. Got it already.
Oh, that's it.
Are your ass cheeks ready to play a couple bumpers at the same time?
Pot it down.
Up, down.
All right, ease out of the music. Not too fast. Just ease them back, letting them talk.
This is known as a cool fade.
And then my only friend, Paranoid, I had him call me on the phone and say, okay, they're doing a live spot. What do you do? And then, here.
How you and Perry are good buddies, huh?
We are.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, my only friend here.
All right, well, I know you, Puck.
And he's not even here.
That's right.
I'd also don't let me run late to the breaks. I'm way late. That's your other thing. Dubs would be on me making an imaginary, I'm breaking a stick line over and over. You ever notice how much he's breaking a stick in my face?
Constantly. Like he's lighting fuses or something.
That's funny. See
Yeah,
my prep?
You're right.
That's funny stuff.
That's his favorite hand signal in here.
I know it
is
is.
break. Because he hasn't learned any of the other ones.
Is this still a break thing?
Oh, Starwater, we'll be right back. Oh, Starwater, we'll be right back. Oh, Starwater, we'll be right back. We're coming right back after these messages. We're coming right back after these messages.
It's the Ron and Fez show right back. All right. It's the Ron and Fez show, and we are back live. 866-277-4969. 866-277-4969. We were scheduled for a long weekend and then took a couple extra days because, Fez, you lost your grandmother the other day.
Yeah, she passed away last Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I headed to Florida, and let's see, Sunday was the wake, yesterday was the funeral.
And now you're back. So, nice little getaway for you.
Oh, yeah, just the joy and a half. And I want to thank everybody who sent really nice thoughts to me, emails and stuff.
You got, and everybody was sending me stuff and I was forwarding and passing around. I had no idea you were so well liked. I always thought I was the likable one and you were the grouch, but maybe I'm wrong about this.
No, everyone was, they ranged from the very, very sweet. By the way, Ronnie, thank you so much for the flowers. Just to let you know, you outclassed everybody.
Thank you, my friend.
You outclassed those bums my dad works with?
Yeah.
You outclassed everyone.
Beautiful. I figured I'd go mafia style with the big martini glass, giant horseshoe, and a card deck.
Well, the woman never drank or gambled, but it was gorgeous nonetheless.
I like every reef to look like a mummer's float, but that's me. I'm old school. I love the Rose Bowl parade. I go in that direction. So how you doing? Are you okay? I know you said it hit you harder than you even expected because you've been waiting for this for a while.
Yeah, she's been, she was almost 99 years old. So you gotta really expect it, but it was, and then she really went downhill like in the past 9 months.
And the real disappointment, you and I have been talking about this for maybe 10 years, of hoping that she was going to get on the Today Show with that Smuckers shout-out. She came so close.
Yeah, man, I thought that was a done deal. I really did. But she was the only one. She used to tell us all the time, I don't want to live to be 100.
Right.
And that was when she was like 95. And she'd say, I don't want to live to be 95.
Right.
Every year, she would dreaded her birthday.
It's no easy trip. When you start getting up to the point where it's like constant doctors and all that. And, I don't want to, I know you come from Pinellas Park, so you saw the ruckus down there, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You know what? I hadn't seen it before, but that's right around the corner from my parents' house. That's walking distance. And the Terry Schiavo situation, the protesters out there, I actually went down there to check some things out to see what was going on.
Yeah.
And you see, people out on the street corner, Jeb Bush, are you a man or a mouse?
I noticed that they all turned on Jeb Bush as things went on.
They completely turned on Jeb.
My favorite was they were calling him Pontius Pilate, which always makes me laugh.
That hurts, no matter who you are, to get called that. There was another sign that said, Barbara Bush, are you proud of your sons now?
Nice one. Did you notice that Jesse Jackson showed up today?
Yeah, as soon as I'm out of town, sure, now the celebs start to descend.
He had a beautiful line for the family. He said, the parents need her, so we've got to feed her. And I thought, that is nice. Finally, you're going in a positive direction.
That's amazing, because I'm thinking there's no way he can rhyme with Schiavo.
Yeah.
And somehow he pulls something off. But it's nice because in Pinellas Park, everyone, the protests are there, the TV cameras are there, and everyone gets to throw out their own agenda.
Uh-huh.
There was a little camper there that had a giant Confederate flag flying over it and huge, huge pictures of aborted babies. Just, which has nothing, either one, to do with Terry Schiavo.
Forward those to me, because I always need I'm a happy guy.
But just pushing the Southern agenda.
I saw that. I saw one of them said, bring back Bubba the Love Sponge. And I'm going, he's going to serious. Why are you worrying?
See, everyone just took the opportunity to push what they really wanted to do. But I went down there and I thought it would be like chants and stuff and protests and everything, feed her, let her live, something like that. It was a bunch of really intense, passionate prayer chains. Where people are just like chanting out loud, hands in the air, praying to God. A lot of just nonstop Bible verse reading.
You know how a lot of people are afraid of Muslims? I get that way with those kind of Christians. I wouldn't turn my back on them. I don't know what it is. The Holy Spirit's got me, so I got to start dancing. Those people give me the heebie-jeebies.
There were some Hispanic ladies that just kept circling the area that was roped off for protests.
Yeah.
And they were doing the Hail Mary in Espanol.
Yeah.
And really loud and marching while they did it. And they would come through, and it would be really eerie, actually, because you'd hear it get louder and then pass you. Like a very religious ice cream truck. Now, we had a legal situation at Grandma's wake on Sunday.
Let me guess. Someone in the family tried to yank a ring? That old gimmick?
No, but there was a lot of watch hiding. Get her watch, quick.
Why?
People were afraid the watch was going to disappear, so anyone taking it was going to keep it for safekeeping. And then, oh, God, there's so many stories. And then there was also people putting things in the casket.
Ugh.
Yeah, I know you don't go for that.
Yeah. Corky knew how much Grandma loved chocolate, so now there's a bunch of Hershey Kisses in there with her.
Well,
like it's Florida. They're going to melt.
That'll last.
Yeah.
That'll last. That'll be all over his shoes. Thank you, Corky.
So the legal situation, Sunday was the viewing at the funeral home. My niece, who's 21 years old, she's driving by herself to the funeral home. My sister's coming the other direction. She sees a car kind of dodging in and out of traffic following my niece. Yeah. Like whenever my niece changed lane, this other guy would change lanes right behind her.
Uh-huh.
Then my niece pulls into the funeral home parking lot, and this car takes a big turn to follow her into the parking lot. My sister's watching all this go on.
Right.
And my sister's coming into the parking lot to hear my niece screaming that she goes, "Oh my gosh, gross, there's his penis." So she had been chased by
Where was it?
It was an indecent exposure thing.
Oh, okay. I thought somehow it got in a car.
No.
Okay. So he pulled up in the funeral?
In the funeral home parking lot and exposed himself to my niece. So, and then Corky was there, my sister screaming, "Stop that SOB." And this is all in a funeral home parking lot where you're supposed to have a little peace, a little tranquility.
I apologize for anything any pain I might have caused your family during this time.
So how did he expose himself? He just pulled up? He opened the door?
He pulled up and he had his pants down inside his car.
How old was this guy?
I think he was probably about 30, I would guess.
Wow.
So
what a bizarre thing to happen at a funeral.
So he takes off, he squealing tires, takes off out of the funeral home parking lot. Then Deputy Barney Fife, my brother Corky, is after him. He's in the Camaro, and he's going to go chase the guy. So he chases the guy down, he gets the license plate, he gets the description. He's calling the police as he's chasing him. And the police say, "Please quit chasing this man. You're not supposed to be racing through the streets of St. Petersburg, Florida."
While he's yelling, "Citizens arrest, citizens arrest," and trying to find his one bullet that he keeps in his top pocket. All right, so this guy exposes himself, huh?
Yeah.
And your brother chases after him.
So Corky comes back after the police say, "Quit chasing him." Next thing you know, we're supposed to go inside. The family's supposed to go in and see Grandma before any other mourners show up. Next thing you know, there's 3 police cars in the funeral home parking lot. My sister, my niece, Corky, they're all filling out affidavits or statements or something.
Your sister's working with a sketch artist. No, the left one was a little lower.
And then
what did she say? It was what was her grading system on it?
That it was a misdemeanor at best.
Wow. So he wasn't even excited. There was no reason to do it.
So then after the viewing, the police called back and say, "We got the guy, we got the tag. You have to come and identify him."
Oh.
So Corky and my niece had to go see him.
A lineup of 4 other ones.
So it turns out he's an illegal alien. It's not supposed to be in the country.
Like a UFO alien?
No, not a space alien.
Oh, that would have been really great.
A Mexican alien.
Because then no wonder it was small. Now, did your sister do anything to, I don't want to say lead him on, but made eye contact, it was a conversation? Or was this just a guy who saw her in the car?
This was just a sicko who followed my niece into the parking lot.
I am not accusing her. I'm just wondering if, all I'm saying is this, it ain't the first one she's seen. And I'm not coming to his defense. But I'm just saying.
And everyone was in funeral clothes. There was nothing provocative being worn.
I just say a nice funeral dress, she shouldn't be showing off the belly. I'm not saying, generally she dresses whorish, but in this case you're saying she was dressed a little more
conservative.
Okay.
And in mourning.
Well, I just wondered if the guy...
And we shouldn't have to see, illegal alien puds.
Well, it doesn't matter really where he's from. The fact is he shouldn't expose himself. But I was just wondering, if the guy somehow got into his head, I saw her at the McDonald's, or I thought she winked at me. I thought I'd chase her down and whip it out for her.
Well, he was following her for quite a while, I guess, waiting for her to stop.
Was he being led on?
No, he was not being led on.
I just know the women in your family.
No one was doing
intimately.
All right. We don't need to go into that either. No one was acting sexy. We were on our way to a wake. There's a time and a place.
Did you get to say it?
No, I didn't get to say it. Fortunately, I got there while Corky was still in pursuit. And then everyone's screaming, "You missed it! You missed the action!"
See, that might have been good for everybody from a mourning standpoint, where it could bring everybody together and, kind of protect the herd type of deal.
Yeah, it definitely gave Corky something to do because he was just a basket case throughout the entire weekend. I mean, he would just break down. There was no handling him. But he did his duty as a pallbearer. At the last minute, he jumped in there to do
it
because she wanted her grandsons, her 6 grandsons, to each be a pallbearer.
Yeah, that's good because remember I was furious about that. Was he able to do it?
Yeah, at the last minute he said he could go. We had a cousin-in-law standing by in case he couldn't.
Was it heavy?
Oh, I've never felt anything heavier in my life.
They are heavy because they're made out, I don't know what the hell they're made out of, but it feels like granite.
Yeah, this thing felt like just solid lead, like we were moving engine blocks.
Well, she was a big gal. Josh, you're on Ron and Fez.
True.
I got the big ass word, whorish.
Whorish.
There's the winning cowbell.
See, I didn't even mean all that, Fez. I was trying to set up the big ass word.
Oh, now I feel better.
Are we back to 80?
No.
Felt like it.
I'll go check.
Yeah, I think you should.
Maybe the painters did something.
I like when he goes, no, definitely not. Well, it felt like it. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know.
Well, everyone has to look into it.
What's up, buddy? You're on Ron and Fez.
Buddies.
It's Black Girl, Fez.
Hey, Black Girl.
Hey, Fezzy. Sorry to hear about your grandmother.
Thank you, Black Girl. I appreciate that, buddy.
Normally in Fez's and Black Girl's family, if someone exposes themselves to one of the nieces, it's an uncle.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
That's an old wives' tale, and you know it.
And they don't want their old wives, they want those young nieces.
Can you believe someone got flashed at the wake?
I believe anything these days. I've seen stranger things.
Yeah.
Ew.
I bet you have. Sick bastard. All right, Earl, thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Hey, Earl? All right, missed them. Somebody wants to, they think they know who was the person who exposed himself to your niece, Fez.
Oh, good.
Because you said it was a legal alien, a Mexican, right?
Yes, it was.
Well, we do have a kind of a spy report on that one. And
spy report.
It works out okay. Mike, you're on Run and Fez.
Hey,
Yeah.
just because Hefe is an alien, there's no reason to deport him for exposing himself. I know he's been on vacation.
And I know he's been in Florida a lot lately, too.
That's true, but if it had been Hefe, there wouldn't have even been a sighting.
Hey! This is just as big as anybody else. All right, we're going to take a break. A lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Fezzy back in town, feeling himself again. You okay with this, or?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. We had my family birthday party yesterday right after the funeral.
Nice.
So that was fun. We got to have cake.
All right, well, we'll talk about that. Oh, yeah, you got a big birthday coming up.
That's on Thursday.
Wow. So right now, since your grandmother died, you're now the oldest living Civil War veteran's widow. So that's amazing. The Civil War widow.
That's rude and rude.
We'll be right back. Fez, this on the instant feedback. Why is Fez trying to hog all the sympathy spotlight? You also are grieving over Foghat's founder, Rod Price, dying. I haven't even been able to come to terms with that, Fezzy, other than just play a little bit of this for everybody. And this is the same song as they played at Fez's grandmother's funeral. Why a Mexican exposed himself. Maybe that's why it happened, Fez, over the soccer game. A lot of deaths anymore, huh?
Yeah, we just heard in the past few minutes Johnny Cochran. In the last segment, we heard that Johnny Cochran's passed away.
Oh, that'll be a jazz funeral, huh?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
going to be a jazz funeral.
Yeah, they'll be stomping and playing horns through Harlem for that one.
Why Harlem, you racist? You get this.
White people.
I thought that was where he was from.
Of black people.
You just have to be racist. He had white fans. OJ's in-laws were crazy about him. Thought Johnny Cochran was the sweetest man alive.
They hated him.
Whatever. The point is, he did his job. You can't take that away from him. He did his job. By the way, Crowded House's drummer died over the weekend. Hung himself. Another rock and roll suicide.
This is just a bad time of year for living people.
Well, dead people, I guess.
They stopped doing it.
All right. Giant Brian's got some interesting news. And also, you were telling me first before we got this about after your grandmother died, you got a sympathy email from Giant Brian.
Yeah, like I said earlier, you know, the sympathy emails were coming in, the messages and stuff, and they range from really, really sweet to really, really inappropriate.
Right.
Brian, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the inappropriate category.
Brian, how do you do this? You're the producer.
Brian sends me an email the day after my grandmother dies with the subject heading, Best Wishes.
That is embarrassing.
Best wishes is what you say when a good thing happens or when you're going on a trip.
When a guy gets a new boat, you say best wishes.
That's what you want celebrities to write it with their autographs. All the best things. And you write that for a sympathy email.
Well, in my defense, I thought best wishes like, hey, you're down. So I thought, hey, best wishes, buddy. All the best.
It didn't come across that way whatsoever. That's why you never see...
It came across like you were happy his grandmother died.
Way to go. You might as well have written, way to go, Granny.
Why didn't you not put it at the top? At least it wasn't you.
It wasn't like best wishes, you can have her stuff. It was just best wishes while you head down.
What stuff? She's 99. She used it up. There's no stuff.
There's no stuff left.
When Giant Brian got the phone call, he gave me the big fist pump, yes, day off.
And then the Bash Brothers, I bet. That handshake.
No, there was no high-fiving going on.
When your family needed the help and decided to and you felt like you had to get down there right away, Fez.
Right.
I get a call from Brian, and because we were already planning the long Easter weekend. Now, this slacker never calls my house. He calls me, and he goes like this. Hey, Ron. I'm like, yeah. He goes, you got any problem with me rolling out of here a day early?
What?
Dubs is on top of everything. So he uses your grandmother's death as a way to expand his long weekend.
In my defense of calling you at 10 in the morning, I just wanted to get you early. Early bird gets the worm.
Well, I'm glad she was able to accommodate you, you giant ass.
And worm talk is not appropriate with a dead woman.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah,
Especially
you want to leave that out of it?
Especially she's packed with chocolates. They packed her in chocolate.
Well,
disgusting.
It's so embarrassing. Then the other brother wanted to put marshmallow peeps in there. And I'm going, she is not a candy jar. Yeah, she enjoys sweets. Would you people stop throwing candy in the casket? It's not a trash can. If it was, my interns would be eating out of it.
You know, it's like a biker funeral when everybody throws a joint in.
It really was.
It's just one of those deals of, hey, man, ride on. Just stop it. He ain't smoking pot in the coffin. You're wasting pot. Someone's going to come back later, dig it up, and get chocolate.
I get best wishes from Giant Brian.
Always says.
And then Puck is like, hey, how was your trip? Did you have a good time? I got that out of him.
Trash Eater said something inappropriate.
Can you believe?
All right. He knows that the funeral only lasts 3-4 hours, so he's thinking you're jet skiing the rest of the time.
Of course, yeah. There's nothing else to do whatsoever. Bits keeps asking me how I am, and then at one point he asked how he was.
Then he goes like this. Oh, we have extra trash if you're hungry. It'll be here.
It wasn't that I was asking how the whole trip in general went. It was just that I know you're afraid of flying, so I was asking how the flight went. So I really don't want to bring up the whole...
His grandmother died. That's his
Everything was bad. The flight was bad. The trip was bad. The weather was bad.
Both ways was the flight bad?
No, today was actually nice.
You're lucky, because yesterday we had like South American rains. I mean, just torrential rains. And I'm like, thank God Whatley isn't coming home in this thing.
When I flew to Florida, it was so stormy out. We bounced the whole way. And I took an airline. I don't need to mention their name now, but they used to have the name of an airline, but they Value Jet, but they changed it because they put one in the Everglades.
Right.
And as we're bouncing along, and
Which one?
and it took 2.5 hours to fly from here to Tampa, Florida, which is insane.
Right, you could probably drive there in 4.
And so I finally had it, and they came on. We should have been on the ground, and they said we're still 100 miles outside of Tampa, and I was ready to scream, are you putting another one in the swamp? What's the deal?
Oh, jeez.
I was on my last nerve.
I understand.
But fortunately, Giant Brian got a nice vacation out of it. Best wishes. Woo!
I was home in time in Pittsburgh, though, on Thursday to watch the basketball games. So, good things did come out of this.
You hauled then.
You're an awful person. You're an awful, awful person. Why can't you be like Crazy Jen, who sent me email after email after email? I brought him in.
All right, what did she say to you?
All right, I got 5 different emails, all separate emails, all one line each. Here's the first one. God bless you, Fezzy. I'm sorry for your loss. That's the email.
Right.
Dink! Here comes another one. Like 5-10 minutes later. God bless you, Fezzy. I wish you nothing but peace. Boom! Here comes another email. I wish you nothing but peace, Fezzy. So she's just getting random thoughts at this point and sending them in one at a time. Then I get, I love you, Fezzy. Be safe. Then the fifth and final one, I guess she finally got it out of her system, says, just a little worried. Love, Jen.
It's like Burma Shave emails. They're showing up every 60, 70 yards.
Yeah, you put them all together, they make a nice poem.
Pedro say, sorry, Fezzy, at south of the border.
And then I get this inappropriate thing from Mikey D. Gee whiz, something his kid did on her radio BBQ show, where I guess she did a shout out to my grandma and played a song dedication to her. How inappropriate! What? Yeah. And then, and his email, she was the one who wanted to say this on her little show earlier today.
It's never the kid's idea. It's always the parent.
And then he asked to emphasize, but this was not my doing. So he writes that in there. And then I see, though, that he has copied you on the email.
Yeah.
This private little thing that he didn't put her up to.
Right.
He wants everyone to know about.
Well, check it and see how quick mine hit delete. I didn't even read. Because I saw it was like a sound clip. I'm not downloading that at all.
So she throws out a dedication to my grandmother. It's Tiny Dancer by Elton John.
Well, that was the second one. The first one she played was Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
Well, that's just wrong and awful.
All right, do we have this clip of Little Lene? No?
No.
Okay. I thought maybe we did.
We could probably get it. I think I still have the email.
No, we don't want it. It's just nice. It was nice she played something for your grandmother, the Tiny Dancer.
She was neither tiny, and she belonged to the Salvation Army. She never danced a day in her life. She grew up like it was Footloose.
It would have been better song. Is there some song called Gigantic Eater or...
That's wrong, too.
Well, I was just trying to think of something different than Tiny Dancer.
The Candy Man would have worked for my family by the great Sammy Davis Jr.
Hey, Crazy Jen.
Hey, Fezzy, he exaggerates a little bit. Fezzy, I sent you like 5 emails and that was it.
That's what I said.
No, Fezzy, but no, it wasn't even like that. You know what? Because I hate when people say, oh, she'll be in a good place, and you know, I know.
Well, you think she's going to be in a bad place?
No, I mean, I didn't know how his grandma was.
We had so many people come up to us and say, you know where she's at. You know where she's at now.
Yeah.
Was she nasty?
No.
Oh, she was nice?
She was a preacher.
Why did you send 5 emails?
Because I was worried about Fezzi. And, you know, Ronnie, he don't return no email.
Yeah, I know he does.
Yes, I did. I can't return all 5. I'm in transit.
Fezzi, you returned my first email, and then I was like, oh, Fezzi wants to talk, right?
You know, I'm the bereaved. I think if I answer your one email, that should be satisfactory, you nuthead.
Yeah, but Fezzi, I was worried about you. Then I thought you got, like, in depression because you didn't email me back or none.
So you kept checking on him?
Yeah, so I kept checking on him, and I thought...
Then why do none of these say, I'm checking on you, please email me back?
Because I was Fezzi. I was hoping when I said, I hope you have a safe trip, you're going to say, hey, Crazy Jen, why don't you come down to Florida with me? Because, you know, I'm feeling a little bit blue. But I never got that email.
Now you're just being obnoxious.
No, I'm not being obnoxious.
Well, you sent 5 nice emails, but they came from just like a little thinker.
Yeah, it was like peace be with you, like I was pulling stuff out of the Bible. I was thinking, Ron.
It was very nice of you. It's just little tiny thoughts.
Yeah, it's just one after another pelting me.
It's like what you'd expect to get from a 2-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. I drew this picture for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Ronnie, and you know I'm on a budget too, and Fezzi's birthday's coming up. I can't get him like grieving flowers and a birthday present too.
I don't want you to get me either.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you a present, Fezzi. I'm getting you a stripper.
Don't.
Uh-huh.
Get me grieving flowers instead.
You want me to get you some roses or some? What do you like?
Believe me, you'll be wasting money on a stripper, honey.
All right, Ron. Fezzi, you exaggerate. You fool.
He's not a fool. He brought them in.
I got them all right here.
And he just read them.
No, that's Ronnie. Look at them. Look at them emails.
Yes, I've looked at them. They're just tiny little emails from
They're like it's like you sent me 5 fortune cookies.
Nah, but you know what? I think he doctored some of them emails though, because it was from the heart. Like, and if you look at the times, it was like really like late at night, and I woke up in the middle of the night.
You were worried about him. You just had little small thoughts.
Yeah, and look at him. He don't appreciate me.
I wrote you back and said thank you for your tiny thoughts, tiny dancer.
You want to go to the movies?
No. As far as you're concerned, I'm still in mourning.
All right.
And I'm not seeing people.
All right, thanks, Crazy Jen.
I'm getting you a present, Fezzi. See you later, buddy.
Now, Fez, are you going to even have a birthday this week, or are you going to be like one of those Italian widows where you wear black for a year?
No, I'm going to go ahead with the birthday. I'm going to do what I have to do and get out your pimp cup and have my birthday party on Thursday.
No, you're doing it Thursday? You're doing it over the weekend? How you doing? Because I was going to invite you to my house on Thursday for dinner. Special dinner, your favorite.
Ooh, let's do that.
By the way, your favorite dinner, I won't be eating.
It's ham and cabbage.
Yeah, I don't want it.
With the hell boiled out of it.
It's the only time of the year we'll make it. And I just go, and then I go out and get a slice of pizza somewhere.
It's so delicious. I love a boiled dinner.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you don't like tasting your food. It's the Ron and Fez show. It's Fez's birthday, so he's going to open up the big-ass prize closet. 866-277-4969. 866-277-49. Call in and win. Fezzy, big birthday for you, but a lot of sadness in the world on your birthday.
Yeah, I mean, like the first thing I saw when I got up was that Terry Schiavo had passed away.
Which I wish I would have known this was going on. I would have loved to have done something to save her. She didn't have to die.
It was everywhere. It was national news for over 2 weeks.
I know. It was driving me crazy. You know me. I don't watch the cable. I'm not big on the cable.
Then just a couple hours before the show, I found out that Mitch Hedberg died.
Yeah.
So still no details on that. And then the Pope is very, very sick again, now with fever and a urinary tract infection.
Well, happy birthday to you, huh, buddy? Happy birthday to you, Jinxie.
I know. It's all coming down. What did I do?
It's helter skelter. So normally, Fez, we say, yes, Fez, it's his big night to drink, and you can use my pimp cup that was made for me from Kathleen from the Bronx, something I cherish. The boys tell me that the last time that you got terribly drunk and crazy, the pimp cup disappeared.
The pimp cup is missing from a year ago?
That wasn't a whole year ago that you got that drunk, though. That was like, I know that you can't always remember, but it couldn't have been a year ago.
Oh, I thought the last time I used it was my last birthday.
No, it was the night that you got really crazy.
The Irish car bomb night?
Yeah, Irish car bomb night.
Well, I don't remember what could have possibly happened to it. I know it's not my job to clean up the studio.
Well, that night you couldn't even clean up yourself. So I don't know who would be in charge of that. I know Ogre had you. It was a messy night and let's face it, an awful night.
Yeah, with, a lot of things going on. Just trying to get me out of the gutter, for one.
So you're going to have to just drink out of a regular cup tonight.
Well, this is making a birthday less and less special.
I know. Well, there's all the deaths, and from what I understand, the Pope also has been given the last rites. So we could get the trifecta all in the same day.
This is a dark birthday.
Fez, your best friend is on the phone right now, so we wanted to go to him.
Hello?
Hi, best friend.
Fez?
Yes?
How are you?
Good.
Tell me all about Florida.
Why should I tell you all about Florida?
I'm writing it down.
It's a Mikey boy?
Yeah.
Hey, Fez, it's sorry I couldn't make it down. My daughter's in sick, so I'm stuck up in New York, but I wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Fez is your biographer, Mikey boy.
I'd really love to see someday that this daughter actually exists.
What? Fez, you're so drunk I heard the interns laughing from the other room.
I'll kill them. I'll kill them. You don't mock me. I'm a host.
That's sad.
Mikey boy, I've never met your daughter.
Well, I'll bring her in sometime.
Have you met his wife?
Yeah, but, that could be some sort of, a Hollywood studio extra that you hire,
What? You can do that?
Yeah,
that would be called a hooker, when you hire a woman to pretend something.
A model.
Okay.
Let's be nice and say model instead of hooker.
Well, she's real. She is real.
Yeah, I met her. She's real. He's got a very attractive family. And
is real. Oh, let's bring in Bobo.
Hi, buddies.
Oh, jeez. Now the Jew jokes are starting. It's so uncomfortable.
Hi, Mikey
It's
boy.
uncomfortable.
Mikey boy, I wish you could have been here.
I wish I could have been there, too, but...
We're having a great time.
Yeah, sounds like it.
All right, this on the instant feedback. I love how every year on his birthday, Fez turns into Corky. You really do turn... You do turn into your drunk brother every single year.
Those jeans are in me. They're blue jeans. They're Levi's jeans, but yes, they're in me.
I have a request.
Yeah.
Could Fezzy say, well, I'll be goddamned?
Where the hell are you coming from?
I don't know. Left field?
Mikey, thanks for calling. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mikey boy.
All right, I'll see you guys soon enough.
All right, talk to you soon.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's got another chapter.
It's like he's in here every other night but my birthday. I don't get it.
Drunk. All right, we're going to take a break.
But I love you.
I know you do, buddy. I know you
do. You gave me ham and cabbage.
I know, my friend.
My
Stop
favorite.
Stop it. We're going to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Back after...
Oh, you bet we are.
After a few uncomfortable moments. It's the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, brother.
Also, Fez Whatley's birthday today.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Enjoying all your friends have gathered around you.
Yeah, this is them, isn't it?
Have a good time tonight, buddy?
I had a great time. Thank you very much.
Despite all the sadness of the day?
It's Terry Schiavo Day, and I just know I'm going to, try to enjoy my birthday March 31st.
Yeah.
Down the road, and some legislation is going to be passed through Congress, and it's going to be known as Terry Schiavo Day. Of course, Mitch Hedberg.
Who?
Mitch Hedberg passes away today.
Seems like you're chasing him. Seems like you're in a race to get there first.
It's the 150th anniversary of the death of Emily Bronte, too. God rest her soul.
Yeah, after 150 years, we were able to, deal with it. This Hedberg thing caught us a little more by surprise.
Said the 195-year-old Bobo.
Hi, buddies.
I honestly think Hedberg is going to be one of those people, like what happened with Bill Hicks, where people become more and more aware of him, even as the years pass. Never bring the music down on me without me telling you to, Giant Brian. I know if it's Giant Talk, you have every right to do that. But here, you want to watch the host.
Gotcha.
Just why we're here.
Okay.
So, but I really do. I think that, that there's some legacy here for a Hedberg. So, everybody's here tonight. Somebody wanted to say happy birthday to you. Say, surprise guest.
You're my first, my last, my everything, Fezzy.
It's Mikey D.
I can't get enough of your love.
Mikey D, what are you up to?
Hello?
Yes.
Fezzy.
What's up, Mikey D?
Oh, man. How'd you know? I just wanted to say happy birthday, Fezzy. And I'm sorry.
Well, I appreciate that.
Sorry for what?
Sorry for everything, my friend.
Sorry for what, Mikey?
I'm sorry for being a jerk.
What did you do wrong?
Everything.
How did you do everything wrong?
I'm just a jerk at times.
What's going on between you two guys that I don't know about?
All I know is this has been going on for just about a month now.
About a month. You're absolutely right, Fezzy. You're absolutely right. And you know what, man? I'm really sorry. I love you. I love you, and I wish you a very, very happy birthday.
Just so everyone knows, I'll admit this. I forgot Mikey D's birthday.
When was it?
Early March.
March 6th.
I told him that off the air. Would he let me off the hook? No. No, not whatsoever. And now, as this month progressed, I have been through, personally, professionally, through the worst month of my life.
Really? Been a rough month for you.
Where it's been absolutely insane. I had to sit there and watch and get a call every day that my grandmother was passing away.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, Fezzy?
She held... No, you let me talk.
I'm sorry. Please, I'm sorry.
She held on through every day this month. And I had to deal with it every day. Every day I got a call saying this was the last day. Ronnie, you know that.
I know that, man.
And I wasn't allowed to deal with that.
No.
I had to worry about someone else's birthday. I had to worry about thinking about other people. And besides the things that are going on with me and Ronnie, which...
Keep those quiet.
I'm going to keep those quiet, but it's quiet on the air.
Right, quiet on the air.
But, just a nightmare on the air.
Right.
A phone call every day. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got to make a decision.
Right, I know.
You got to do this. You got to do that.
Right, we're going to keep that off the air because Giant Brian's here and he runs a gossip column.
Exactly. And it's been going on for a month now.
Mm-hmm.
Where, it's like me and Ronnie are like, yeah, there's things we want to do. There's things we'd like to do.
Right, okay. And, right, we'll talk about that all later.
And eventually, it'll all happen.
Right.
And Ronnie watched out for me throughout this entire month. I can't ask for a best friend, a better friend that watched out for me and said, I understand this is going on. Well, this is going on. And you know what? You take care of what you got to take care of. And Mikey, I swear to you in heaven, you never cut me slack once during this month. That has probably been the worst month of my life. You never cut me slack once.
Okay, Fez, why don't we do this? Because a lot of this, I know you've had a lot of stress.
And this has been the worst month of my life.
I know, buddy.
And somehow, through some irony of God, through some joke that he finds funny, that the Supreme Being finds funny, my birthday ends up at the end of this month that I have had the most brutal time of. I'm supposed to sit here and take, and drink and have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And, act like nothing's happened whatsoever.
I know, buddy. Here's what
I have been brutalized through this month, and you never, ever got me 1 ounce of slack. Not once did you ever say, hey, I'm here for you. It was always, hey, I'm here for me.
Okay. Also, Fezzy.
And this was... Go ahead, Ronnie.
I just want you to know that no matter what, a lot of this is because you're drinking and you have had a hard month. And I just want you to...
It's been the most brutal month of my life.
I know it has, buddy. And
no one knows what I've been through.
I know, pal. I know that, buddy.
Other than you, no one knows what I've been through.
I know, pal. And
I have sat in here every night that I could.
I know.
I came back here Tuesday night and made every joke possible, talked about my grandmother as a candy dish, just so I could get through this.
I know, pal.
And I haven't got one bit of slack from this guy.
Come on, man. Come here. I know. Forget that. That's okay.
I'm sorry, Fezzy. I should have known better.
Great job.
I'm sorry.
I have done everything I could.
Why don't you
to do this job and get through my life?
Okay, so...
And it's just not working together.
I know it's not, but it's going to. And everybody's sorry about your grandmother, and some people don't even know how much she meant to you.
And it's like, I'm sure there are people like, hey, what the hell? She was 99.
Right.
No big deal. Like it was, it's like you gotta expect it. You gotta, and you know what? We didn't expect it.
I know, buddy.
We didn't expect it. She's been with us forever.
I know, and you love her very much, and she loves you. She does. And Mikey, this is probably not even the best time, but you guys should probably, talk about it another time.
And I got someone who's worried about his own problems.
I know.
I understand, Ron.
I could care less. I could effing care less.
All right, Mikey.
Okay, man.
Sometimes you got to get things off your chest.
I don't know if I did or not.
You did. Believe me.
I would assume we did.
Yeah. But look, even though I know how rough the last month's been for you, look around the thing, and most of these people you've met over the last year, and these are people that care enough about you to show up, and life does go on, and good things do happen.
I so appreciate everyone in this room tonight. Everyone who, who just said, you know what? I just want to be positive. I just want to, say hey to Fez.
Right.
Not ask anything of him. Not say, hey, this is about me, not you.
Right.
It's not even about me.
I know.
But it was just the most difficult week of my life. And the weird thing was, Ronnie, didn't expect it.
I know.
To be the most difficult week of my life. When someone's almost 99 years old, you're like, hey, that's life.
Yeah.
Hey, great life. Way to go. But you lived that long.
But it doesn't mean that you don't miss them and that You don't love them.
And just such a huge, even in the past, 9 months when she was, so out of it and stuff, she was just so totally part of our lives. And I'm talking about my grandmother.
Right. I know how much this has meant to you. And you have been a professional. You come in here and you're funny every single night, Fez.
I did every night that I thought I could possibly do.
I know.
And, I came in here this week and I said, and my only thought in my head was, let me get through this week.
Right.
Let me come in, do my job. Let me use that 4 hours as a distraction and get through this week. And some people had to make it even harder on me. And we just hung up on that person. And it's not easy whatsoever.
But here's the thing, and I'm not going to protect Mikey, but he's going to talk to you about this later. I told him you were going through a lot of stuff. I don't think he's aware. He lives in a different place and all, and he doesn't know everything is happening.
It's just brutal. I didn't want to come back this week.
I know you didn't.
But I felt obligated. I felt like I had to do my job.
Right.
I felt like I had to be here for you and just do what was right. Just do what she would have wanted me to.
And that's exactly true, too, of her.
And I just don't understand how some people don't understand that.
Well, the beauty of it is...
I don't get it. I just don't get it. How some people can't understand that. And here's the thing. Just so everyone knows, I'm the first one in my family to move away.
Right.
Everyone else in my family is there in Pinellas Park, Florida. Everyone else was there with my grandmother when it was time to happen. My father retired tonight after all his years of work, and I couldn't be there.
Right.
And it's not easy to be the one that's not there. And for someone else to come along and just accuse me of forgetting his birthday, of someone else to accuse me of, being selfish with my feelings, it's absolutely more than I could take, because there's nothing more in the world. When my grandmother got buried on Monday. I stayed there. I flew back to Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. Here's the thing. My grandmother, almost 90 years old. That's cool. I say goodbye to her. We settled things. But I had to leave my family.
I know.
When they were at their absolute weakest. They had already lost someone, and then I had to look them in the eye and say, well, I'm off to D.C.
Right. Well,
all of that is on my conscience.
I know, buddy.
And for someone to say, for someone to make me feel guilty about what's going on my birthday, when, trust me, is this the place I want to be? Is this the place I should be? Probably not. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting.
Well, buddy, we're going to wrap it up tonight. And maybe, you needed to get some of this stuff off your chest. Maybe,
yeah,
and this,
probably.
I was thinking, well, you almost made it to the end of another show, but...
I got close.
Yeah, every year, you almost make it to the end before the wheels come off.
And then I have to start sputtering and, letting everyone know what I really feel.
Well, this year, You're not in the gutter, and your foot's not in the sewer, so every year it's getting a little better.
Exactly. Every year not in the gutter is a year better. Just remember that, people.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up tonight. I'm going to give you your keys, let you drive home.
Thank you. It's a straight line. It's Lee Highway. It's not a big deal.
Still, I'm worried. Drive fast. Call me when you get home because you don't know how I worry.
I'm not even going to turn on the headlights so they don't even see me out there.
Smart. That's smart. All right, so it's happy birthday to Fez.
Yeah, it's a effing great one.
Luckily, Mikey didn't call it 7. Or
this would have happened beyond, right there at the beginning.
We would have had 4 hours.
Yeah.
But anyway, probably was good for you.
I hope so.
And
the big thing is I won't remember it tomorrow.
Oh, the listeners will bring it up to you. Don't worry about that. I'm sure that damn Mikey boy's putting it on some kind of JPEG, MP3, whatever the hell.
We got Lois Lane in here writing things down.
All right, so it's happy birthday to Fez.
Happy birthday, Fez.
Thank you, Giant Brian. Giant Talk, Saturday night at 11 p.m. on WJFK.
Always the consummate pro.
You are pro.
We'll see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock. It's the Ron and Fez show on a Friday night. I'm Ron Bennington Incorporated. With me tonight, Fez Whatley Incorporated.
Hiya, buddies. Incorporated.
And it's Friday night, the night after Fez's birthday, so that means he'll be drinking highballs throughout the night.
Never again. Again, I'm swearing off drink.
Well, I will say this about you, Fez. I don't know whether hard liquor is your forte.
No, as much as I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
It's just some things I just have to accept. I'm never going to play in the NFL.
Seriously.
I'm never going to sing.
You're definitely AAA at best when it comes to your skills in drinking. I'm sure that you're okay at a pool bar with a couple of beers. But how many cocktails did you have last night?
Oh, I don't even remember. I seriously don't. I remember I think, but by the end of the night, it was all Seagrams and no 7.
Yeah. And everything was bright and sunny and fun. And normally you go out and we hear the Nature Boy or some kind of bragging about your home state of Florida. Something that we all laugh and off we go.
Sure.
And, last night, as we end a 4-hour Fez drinking show, I think the best term to call it would be Meltdown.
Yeah, I know what I did, but I don't know how I did it or exactly what I did.
Yeah, just keep it that way. It's best not to know the exacts for you.
The only things I remember is I know Hawk called.
Yeah.
And our intern was saying something about wanting to go to a wedding dressed as Queen Latifah in a beauty shop.
Well, I know with a night show, not everybody listens to all 4 hours. You'd have to be insane. But the people who stuck around really got to see the fireworks go off.
They got their payoff.
Fez has been going through a rough time lately. He's lost his grandmother, and I guess, is it the first close person in your life to lose, Fez, or is it adult?
I've lost other grandparents, but that was like when I was a kid, like in high school. Right. I was still in high school and it was so long ago.
And now you have the whole mortality thing, when as the years go by, it's like when you're a little kid, you're thinking, well, okay, old people die. But when you're an adult and you lose somebody, all kinds of triggers go off.
Well, that was my biggest fear going into Y2K when we changed centuries, because I remember telling you, this is the century where we're going to die. You kind of saw the 1900s as a free pass. Wherever you were born in the 1900s, that was a free pass to the 21st century.
So as he's drinking and opening presents and friends are coming in and everything is just wonderful, almost make it to the end of the show, as we do with you.
I remember seeing the clock being and saying 10:30.
Yeah, everything was fine till 10:30. As a matter of fact, even the last break, as the song was playing, the guys held the door so you couldn't get back in as the song was coming on, and you were pushing at the door. Do you remember that?
No, I wanted back in.
Yeah, no. This was for the last break. Everything was like happy time. So when you were out in the hall, holding court, And as the bumper music goes on, I think I said to Bobo or somebody, "Oh, here comes Fez. Don't let him in right away." And they're like holding the door and you're pushing, and it's all just horsing around.
Fun hijinks.
Yeah,
birthday antics.
Great. It was great.
It's had a real football camp about the whole thing. And then the next thing I know, Mikey D calls and
that was a mistake.
The S hit the fan. The S hit the fan, and that took you into a spiral. I would call it a spiral.
I'd be there with you, an emotional spiral.
Yeah.
Just caught in the whirlpool.
Which, because I guess you've not really dealt with all your emotions, and the evil alcohol does bring those emotions right out. They all just came spilling out on the air last night.
7 and 7 equals meltdown.
See, I come from an Irish Catholic family. That's what the wake is like. You're Lutheran. You guys don't drink at your wakes. You don't, I guess you don't punch your uncles as much as we do.
No.
In our family, there would always be, at every wake, a chair would fly across the room at one of the uncles. All the cousins would take their, and then we'd all go at it. We'd have a big fight. And then later, everybody would feel better. So that hit you last night.
Yeah, because, when I went home for the funeral and the wake and everything, I didn't show any emotion throughout the same thing.
Right.
I mean, I was doing casket jokes and stuff, and I never cried during the funeral when everyone else around me was losing it.
Right. Now, why did you do that on purpose? Were you like, I'm Fez Whatley the man?
No, it felt right to do.
Yeah.
It felt right to, to just stay dry-eyed.
Yeah.
And, it just wasn't hitting me at those times.
Right.
Maybe I was just turning it all off.
Yeah, right. Well, people do that sometimes. And this was like the first time you got hammered since.
Yeah, yep.
And I guess you and Mikey's had this little beef going back and forth.
For a month now.
Yeah, that's been for a month now. And then I guess he waited till right at the end of the show to call.
And
he started it into, not that I'm saying it's all his fault, but he started, he went from being a happy night to Fez, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like right away it had to be, spotlight on Mikey.
Yeah,
as he does.
Because as I went through all, as you go through things like this, you find out what people are really about. Ronnie looks out for me more than a person should have to. And that just, shines during this past week. My brother Corky had things that he didn't want to do, that he didn't think he could do, and he came through and did it when it was time.
Right.
Other people can't get past their own self-involvement.
Right.
To see any other person's picture of the world.
So, I guess all that came spinning off, and then how bad you felt about losing your grandmother, and you were upset about, your family. You had to leave them when they were still mourning, and it all just hit you like a ton of bricks, quite frankly.
Like someone threw ice in my drink at me.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly.
Like someone threw a drink in my face.
Now, the odd thing is, this is one of the few jobs where you can say, hey, that was really good. And even though it was bad, like if you had any other kind of job, if you were an accountant, there might be some kind of problem. But,
if I did this at the Walmart, forget it. They're taking my blue vest off of me.
Right. You had this, incredible emotional breakdown, and we were all just going, wow, whew, not bad at all. I'd like to see more of that on the show. You know what I mean? It was like, I hate to say it was like a reality TV thing when what I thought about it was like if you ever watched wrestling, when somebody would actually shoot, when you knew this was no longer a funny bit for the show, but just shooting from the hip.
That's what it felt like. And then this morning it was just one of those things where it's like, all right, another day where I ended the party bad and I have to go gather up my belongings wherever they may be.
Well, yeah, you left all your presents here. Everything was a mess. And the thing that, everybody really missed was the after show effect of Fez being at my house and dry heaving for a good 2 hours. And then I have to do the thing of making sure I'm getting him on his belly to sleep. It always comes down to, I think you're more comfortable on your belly, Fez.
No.
I can't have a death in the house. That's my main concern right now. You can
just drive me back to the studio.
Oh yeah. Well, I did.
Drive the body back.
That was at what time this morning? 6:30 or 7?
Yeah.
Driving through the fog to get you your car. Yeah, you're right. I'm a hell of a friend.
See it? I do get up early.
You do. My chick's going like this. Hey, could you take Fez to get his car? I'm like, what? What? What time is it? It's barely light.
At least I kept all the buttons on my shirt this time.
You did. And believe me,
it's an improvement.
There was not even a problem of you being too drunk until like the last 15 minutes of the show. Hey, Kim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi. I got the word?
What is it?
Latifah.
There's the winning cowbell. You're going off to the big-ass prize closet.
I didn't even hear that one at all. Yeah. All right, this, no, I'm not even going to read that email to you. It's about something you did 2 drunks before. It basically says this: the only people who felt good about last night are the local Tampa Bay news anchors. Because a couple of drunks ago, you went off on the news people that you grew up with.
Yeah, not even the ones that are still working there.
Yeah, the ones from 1978.
That have retired and died since.
So you don't know what you're going to get when Auntie Fez has a little too much of the boohoo juice.
But I appreciated everyone stopping by and all the nice phone calls.
Oh, that was the beautiful
thing. The nice presents. That was great.
So from sitting next to you, and we just had a packed studio of people that just generally love Fez, and they go out and meet him on Friday nights after the show. And I just looked up at this oil painting of shocked faces where you couldn't even see a muscle twitch in the room.
I didn't want to move because I knew I was in front of you, and I didn't want it to, like, turn, you know? Like, I didn't know if, like, you were going with things in sight then at that point. Like, you were coming with,
like I was going to turn on you at any minute?
I just didn't move. No one moved.
Yeah, nobody moved at all. Nobody did a thing. And then, you know, afterward, Laszlo did an awkward, Fez, you bring a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Laszlo, who never talks, takes that moment.
I'm walking proof of that. There's no doubt. You know, your life matters. He tried to do one of those things.
I wasn't on the lead.
Everybody, yeah, he kind of felt like he was going to just say the right thing. Instead of, if you've ever been with a drunk before who gets in that position, you just gotta let him go. You can't try to convince something or bring up the Lord and the plan that all of us there. You know what I mean? The guy hurts. You gotta let him hurt a little bit.
You're a child of the universe.
You gotta let him hurt, throw up, pass out. That's what you're after in that situation.
Hopefully in that order.
Oh. So a lot of you guys that never had that in your families probably have no way to. But your parents aren't getting divorced. Your dad is just yelling and throwing furniture out the window. By the time you're 6, you're saying to your little brother, trust me, this is all going to blow over, and tomorrow we're being taken out for ice cream. And we did. Today Fez took me out to see Sin City, bought the tickets, because he wasn't exactly sure what he did.
Yeah, exactly. I had no clue. All I can keep doing is asking,
was it bad? How bad was it?
That's when I should have came over, started borrowing CDs from you, because you're in that vulnerable state.
I owe everybody.
Just like he had one of those, hey, buddy, things going on. Because not hearing that maybe you stabbed somebody or whatever.
Yeah, you just hope for good. You wish for no news.
Yeah.
That really is a case where no news is good news.
Oh, that's the worst thing about that kind of a blackout drunk, when, you know, you find out you did things to people's cats and you chucked them and whatever the hell happened.
And that's happening more and more with me when I really tie one on.
Yeah.
I used to be able to remember all the time. I just may not have the brain cells left.
Yeah, well, for me, I can tell you I started blacking out at 14. So I started right where you were last night. That was my opening, my introduction to the world of drinking.
I probably would have been better off if I had a family that drank.
Well, see, maybe you would have got that out of your system. I know not everybody is into the Irish Catholic thing, but sometimes that's the best thing for you in a grieving process, is to drink too much, maybe start punching each other. Just try to get rid of all that raw, awful energy that you have.
Just spend it.
Now, the lucky thing for Mikey D is that he was on the phone and not here.
Because he would have had a long drive back.
Yeah, it would have been brutal. And I told him before, when, this thing is going on between you and him, give you a little time, give you a little space.
Oh, I get zero space. Yeah. By the time I got back from your house this morning, I had 3 voicemails from him.
Right. I mean, even me, I know you're going through this period, so I'm just like, call me if you need me or whatever you want, but not to bother you, because I know, certain times you're grieving. That's all part of it.
So, and the voicemails are like, all I can do is say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, gee, that's what I tried to do a month ago forgetting your birthday.
So you're not completely over it?
No, I'm not done in the least. And the fact that he tried to steal the end of the show.
Yeah, I know.
Just pokes me in my rib.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of set you off a little bit last night. But all in all, it's not bad radio. I know that that may not be what you're looking to hear today.
I want to be far out of town if it makes the best of.
Oh, I already got a thing from Mikey Boy. That will not be posted to ronfez.net. It's one of those things that should just stay out there. But I do know that it's on other sites.
Of course it is. You can't make a move in this world anymore.
At the end of the segment last night, Keisha looks at me and says, save it? Oh, yeah. Gotta save it.
Thank you, Dubs.
Just save it for our own personal use.
And just so everyone knows, that's the only thing we save. We could ask for any other break and not have it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
From the past year.
Yeah, that's exactly true. But something that you don't want, yeah, I got a copy of it. I already burned off a couple for all the other interns.
There's a picture of me passed out on a CD cover.
Dubs, were you in the room or outside?
No, I was outside, and if you could have if I had a mic in front of me, all you would have heard is, keep it together, big man. Come on, keep it together.
Wasn't going to happen.
Well, it was a slow build to it. You know, it started and there was just no stopping you. I mean, you had kind of planted your feet and you were just staring down the microphone, just laying into him. And I'm like, oh, it's a runaway train now. And I was just doing I know, buddy. It's a pain in the
all
head.
You can do.
That whole, I know, pal, you try, you give and give. I'm the first to say it. You give and give.
That's what you get for calling up and pushing my buttons while I'm drunk.
Drunk isn't even the word for it. You were hammered.
Yeah, I got hammered.
Out of nowhere hammered, too. I mean, up to that point, friendly Fez. The Fez everybody loves.
I wish I could find that line.
Yeah.
Because it does. It goes, same with Irish Car Bomb Night. It goes from fun to disaster.
Look, when the Pope
in the blink.
Hey, when the Pope dies, you might have to take care of me, Fezzy. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm ready to go off for that one.
I know bad stuff's right around the corner when he's outside flare chopping.
Did I do that again?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the last part of fun for him until it turns bad.
Son of a gun!
Who got flare chopped?
Giant Brian.
Did you?
Hard.
Right in the knee, huh?
Yeah, and that was right before the last break, right?
Yeah.
So then I get the word from somebody, Fez is flare chopping.
It's that going outside. Who was that from? Lois Lane, KOP?
Yeah, KOP came rushing in with that. So I'm like, but even then, I felt like everything was okay. You don't remember the guys holding the door and you're trying to...
now that you say it, I do.
I'm late for the bit.
Let me in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was all...
Now that I wouldn't have remembered it unless you brought it up.
Just moments before, it was a sunny day. And then suddenly, dark clouds.
That crack of thunder.
Giant rain. It all came down.
Well, I hope I didn't hurt you, Giant Brian.
I'm all right.
Giant Brian, if I flare chop you ain't getting up. Don't ever forget that. If you're thinking, I can take a flare chop, forget about it. That might work on Giant Talk Saturday nights. Doesn't work with me, big man.
I don't want you to bring it.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, Fez, your birthday just keeps coming on. Here's a present for you I saw that came in. This is from Billy Staples.
Wow, and happy birthday to Billy Staples today.
Oh, today's his birthday?
Yep, April 4.
I know you're going to have to send him something quick. And then
I did, an email.
You have another present here from Mikey D.
Oh, you can have that one.
Tension Fezzy. So I don't know why you're wasting time opening up a Billy present. It's going to be something he found in his cellar. You can even tell, look at it, it's an old box that he shouldn't have used.
I'm guessing more old Tug McGraw paraphernalia.
But this one from Mikey D, maybe you should open, Fezzy, because why is it late? Maybe he bought this for you after your meltdown. What was it, last Thursday night?
Yeah, last Thursday on my birthday.
So do you think he did? You think that's when it came in?
I doubt it. I could check it out, but I don't plan on keeping it.
Now, the important thing is do we ever want to play the meltdown again, Fez? Or is that lost for the ages?
You know what? You know what? If I could remember what I said during the meltdown,
right,
I think I would be more comfortable with it.
I listened to it back.
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest tirades I've heard in my life.
You know what? It might be therapeutic for me to hear it.
All right, there you go. You had a Statue of Liberty from, say again, trash he's found.
Oh my gosh, what a bunch of junk. Musical Statue of Liberty.
Fezzi got very, very drunk last Thursday night on his birthday and got, what's that one? Another.
Why more musical Statue of Liberties? Are they bookends?
Statue of Liberty, for some reason, wearing a flag draped over her shoulder in a toga.
Yeah, because you know what? The Statue of Liberty isn't really patriotic enough.
Right.
In people's minds. You have to put her in a flag.
And that's it. Three
of them.
All right, that's beautiful.
Would anyone care for one? I seem to have a few extras.
I'll take one for 4th of July. I'll give it to my folks. All right, let's see what you got from Mikey D there, Fezzi. I didn't know this was going to turn into opening presents on the air, but...
Yeah, me neither.
Maybe it's some kind of an apology. Oh, there's a letter from him.
All right, that's from Lene.
Oh, jeez. You yelled at her...
one of those handwritten cards. And no, just Fezzi, happy birthday, enjoy, lots of love. Helen. Oh, and there's Mikey underneath it. Okay. I thought maybe just Helen was sending me something.
It looks like they make their own cards and make their own...
And then they sell it at an Amish farmer's market on the weekends.
Oh, this is nice. You got nice stuff then. I was hoping it was some kind of let's try to make up for the fight we had.
The Incredibles on DVD and an Incredibles t-shirt.
Oh, because that's your favorite movie?
No. I have no idea. It makes as much sense to me as the musical Statue of Liberties, Ronnie.
All right, let me check around. Giant, do you think we should rerun the Meltdown of Fezzi? He says he's not sure. Maybe it'll be therapeutic.
I think definitely listen to it.
Did you hear it since it happened?
Yes.
Since it happened. How about you, Dubs?
I haven't listened to it since. I've kind of just savored it in my mind.
Here's what happened Friday night. Fezzi, well, it was your birthday. You got incredibly drunk. And, you know, Fezzi's the happy drunk. You've heard him drunk on our show. You've heard him drunk on Dynamite's show. And when Fezzi's drunk, he loves the world. The world loves Fezzi. Everything's fun. There's a lot of hugging and singing. And, you know, you guys are my buddies.
The sad part about it is it takes that much alcohol for a wall to come down.
Yes.
You know?
Well, you know, maybe
I get gregarious.
Maybe you need a little bit of that wall up sometimes. But because of this, Fez has been going through a tough time lately. He lost his grandmother last week. And I guess you didn't get all the grieving out.
Yeah, I didn't do any while I was in Florida at the funeral or at the wake. I just didn't do it.
And I think also because you've been running back and forth between here and Florida, you were a little exhausted, you know, and then you take the grieving and the liquor. And then apparently you and Mikey D have been fighting for a month. You and Mikey very close friends. But a month ago, a fight started between you guys.
Yeah, I forgot his birthday.
Yeah.
You know, and I admitted it, and I apologized on the air. I called him, and I apologized off the air. And I just, you know, he never let me off the hook. You know, it was never like, hey, I understand, you know, yeah, it's a busy time for you guys.
Right.
I just never got, you know, a pass on it.
Now, what you're saying right now sounds very similar to what you said that night on your birthday, except you were 100 times angrier.
Yeah, you were furious about it. Like, normally you handle it like you do now. Like, you're like trying to explain to him. But it was one extra drop in the bucket for you. It was one extra thing pushing you over. Hey, Chris, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Hey, my buddy.
Hey, I'm Fezzi. Happy birthday, babe. I missed the birthday show, and I'm just calling to beg and plead on my knees right now. Please, rerun the Meltdown.
The problem with the Meltdown is Fezzi was, also mourning at the same time. So I'm not sure if you're comfortable with that part of it or whether, you know, you're okay with it yet. But from a radio standpoint, when I listened to it later, it was really good.
Well, you know what? I respect the people who've listened to it again to try to, you know, analyze it a little bit more.
It's being analyzed all over the web, apparently. Because
that's why I've stayed offline.
Somebody sent me a link, and I'm like, I got to hear this. And then I'm just like staring at my computer going, damn, all right, you take apart the cringe thing, but it was just a lot of raw emotion out of Fez, who we don't normally get raw emotion from.
And you know what? It probably would help, you know, to quit saying, I know what I did, but I don't know what I said.
Right.
To actually know what I said, to either defend it or back it up or reiterate it.
So you think you might want to hear it?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, Brian, for some reason you kept it on CD, which
what?
is wrong. Here's Paul, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, man, I just wanted to let Fez know why he got The Incredibles.
Why is that?
Last summer. Wasn't that the movie that you picked for the big blockbuster?
Is that what you picked, Fezzy?
You know what? I don't think it was my number one movie of the year.
Speaking of which, Sin City did pretty damn good over the weekend, brought in a lot of money, and already the backlash is starting. Already some of the Christians are going, what the hell kind of a movie is this?
Brings in just over $28 million and blows away Beauty Shop.
Which is shocking because who wasn't waiting for Beauty Shop? So, do we have time to do it now? If we throw it in now, we'll just go a couple minutes late on the break.
Absolutely.
This is Thursday night, Fez's birthday, and just to set this up, for 3 hours and 45 minutes, never a happier guy.
Life of the party.
Life of the party, literally sitting surrounded by presents and just a room full, just stuff full of friends. People all here to see you, hang out with you. You're getting hugs and kisses. And I was bringing this up, like right before this happened, Fez was in the hall drunk, and when we came back from break, the guys had kind of shut the door and locked you outside, and you were banging, trying to get in. It was all just the silliest, funnest hijinks going down.
Yeah, a lot of drinking, and then on the other side of it, too, it's like Ronnie said, I've been feuding with Mikey D for a month now.
But you know what?
And I didn't want him to come down for my birthday.
Right, you didn't want him to come down for your birthday, but I'm not even sure he knew that you were feuding with him. Again, because of the type of person that you are, to take it in, he didn't know that you guys had a beef going.
Right. And,
you know what I'm saying?
And I had to let you handle it the whole time.
Yeah, and even for the thing...
I asked you to handle it.
Right. Even for his birthday, I told him and Billy Staples not to come down because they wanted to crash at your house. I know that you were in a period of mourning, and that's not the most comfortable thing that you have to do if you're, making breakfast for people or whatever. I know that you don't want to break down in front of anybody.
And look what happened.
Fez doesn't want the world to see his emotions.
And I kept getting phone messages. I wasn't taking calls, but I was getting phone messages from Mikey still insisting on coming down.
Yeah.
For my birthday.
I tried to talk to him over the weekend, and I didn't get anywhere with it, Fez. We didn't have the opportunity to work it out, so. All right, so just to set that up, Fez stressed, and it all explodes during his birthday. This is about, 10:45 at night?
Yeah, late. Right near the end of the show.
We'll just go to tape. So everybody's here tonight. Somebody wanted to say happy birthday to you. Say surprise guest.
You're my first, my last, my everything, Fezzy.
It's Mikey D.
I can't get enough of your love.
Mikey D, what are you up to?
Hello?
Yes.
Fezzy.
What's up, Mikey D?
Oh, man. How'd you know? I just wanted to say happy birthday, Fezzy. And I'm sorry.
Well, I appreciate that.
Sorry for what?
Sorry for everything, my friend.
Sorry for what, Mikey?
I'm sorry for being a jerk.
What did you do wrong?
Everything.
How did you do everything wrong?
I'm just a jerk at times.
What's going on between you two guys that I don't know about?
All I know is this has been going on for just about a month now.
About a month. You're absolutely right, Fezzy. You're absolutely right. And you know what, man? I'm really sorry. I love you. I love you, and I wish you a very, very happy birthday.
Just so everyone knows, I'll admit this. I forgot Mikey D's birthday.
When was it?
Early March.
March 6th.
I told him that off the air. Would he let me off the hook? No. No, not whatsoever. And now, as this month progressed, I have been through, personally, professionally, through the worst month of my life.
Really? Been a rough month for you.
Where it's been absolutely insane. I had to sit there and watch and get a call every day that my grandmother was passing away.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, Fezzy?
She held... No, you let me talk.
I'm sorry. Please, I'm sorry.
She held on through every day this month. And I had to deal with it every day. Every day I got a call saying this was the last day. Ronnie, you know that.
I know that, man.
And I wasn't allowed to deal with that.
No.
I had to worry about someone else's birthday. I had to worry about thinking about other people. And besides the things that are going on with me and Ronnie, which...
Keep those quiet.
I'm going to keep those quiet, but, you know, it's quiet on the air.
Right, quiet on the air.
But, you know, just a nightmare on the air.
Right.
A phone call every day. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got to make a decision.
Right, I know.
You got to do this. You got to do that.
Right, we're going to keep that off the air because Giant Brian's here and he runs a gossip column.
Exactly. And it's been going on for a month now.
Mm-hmm.
Where, you know, it's like me and Ronnie are like, yeah, there's things we want to do. There's things we'd like to do.
Right, okay.
You know?
And, right, we'll talk about that all later.
And eventually, you know, it'll all happen.
Right.
And Ronnie watched out for me throughout this entire month. I can't ask for a best friend, a better friend that watched out for me and said, you know, I understand this is going on. Well, this is going on, and you know what? You take care of what you got to take care of. And Mikey, I swear to you in heaven, you never cut me slack once during this month. That has probably been the worst month of my life. You never cut me slack once.
Okay, Fez, why don't we do this? Because a lot of this, I know you've had a lot of stress.
And this has been the worst month of my life.
I know, buddy.
And somehow, through some irony of God, through some joke that he finds funny, that the Supreme Being finds funny, my birthday ends up at the end of this month that I have had the most brutal time of. I'm supposed to sit here and take, you know, and drink and have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, act like nothing's happened whatsoever.
I know, buddy. Here's what
I have been brutalized through this month, and you never, ever got me 1 ounce of slack. Not once did you ever say, hey, I'm here for you. It was always, hey, I'm here for me.
Okay, also, Fezzy.
And this was... Go ahead, Ronnie.
I just want you to know that no matter what, a lot of this is because you're drinking and you have had a hard month. And I just want you to...
It's been the most brutal month of my life.
I know it has, buddy. And
no one knows what I've been through.
I know, pal. I know that, buddy.
Other than you, no one knows what I've been through.
I know, pal. And
I have sat in here every night that I could.
I know.
I came back here Tuesday night and made every joke possible, talked about my grandmother as a candy dish, just so I could get through this.
I know, pal.
And I haven't been cut one bit of slack from this guy.
Come on, man. Come here. I know. Forget that. That's okay.
I'm sorry, Fezzy. I should have known better.
Great job.
I'm sorry.
I have done everything I could.
Why don't you
to do this job and get through my life?
Okay, so...
And it's just not working together.
I know it's not, but it's going to. And everybody's sorry about your grandmother, and some people don't even know how much she meant to you.
And, you know, and it's like, I'm sure there are people who are like, hey, what the hell? She was 99.
Right.
No big deal. Like it was, like it's like you gotta expect it. You gotta, and you know what? We didn't expect it.
I know, buddy.
We didn't expect it. She's been with us forever.
I know, and you love her very much, and she loves you. She does. And Mikey, this is probably not even the best time, but you guys should probably, talk about it another time.
And I got someone who's worried about his own problems.
I know.
I understand, Ron.
I could care less. I could effing care less.
All right, Mikey.
Okay, man.
Sometimes you got to get things off your chest.
I don't know if I did or not.
You did. Believe me.
I would assume we did.
Yeah. But look, even though I know how rough the last month's been for you, look around the thing, and most of these people you've met over the last year, and these are people that care enough about you to show up, and life does go on, and good things do happen.
I so appreciate everyone in this room tonight. Everyone who, who just said, you know what? I just want to be positive. I just want to, say hey to Fez.
Right.
Not ask anything of him. Not say, hey, this is about me, not you.
Right.
It's not even about me.
I know.
But it was just the most difficult week of my life. And the weird thing was, Ronnie, I didn't expect it.
I know.
To be the most difficult week of my life. When someone's almost 99 years old, you're like, hey, that's life.
Yeah.
Hey, great life. Way to go. You live that long.
But it doesn't mean that you don't miss them and that you don't love them.
And just such a huge, even in the past, 9 months when she was, so out of it and stuff, she was just so totally part of our lives. And I'm talking about my grandmother.
Right. I know how much this has meant to you. And you have been a professional. You come in here and you're funny every single night, Fez.
I did every night that I thought I could possibly do.
I know.
And, I came in here this week and I said, and my only thought in my head was, let me get through this week.
Right.
Let me come in, do my job. Let me use that 4 hours as a distraction and get through this week. And some people had to make it even harder on me. And we just hung up on that person. And it's not easy whatsoever.
But here's the thing, and I'm not going to protect Mikey, but he's going to talk to you about this later. I told him you were going through a lot of stuff. I don't think he's aware. He lives in a different place and all, and he doesn't know everything that's happening.
It's just brutal. I didn't want to come back this week.
I know you didn't.
But I felt obligated. I felt like I had to do my job.
Right.
I felt like I had to be here for you and just do what was right. Just do what she would have wanted me to.
And that's exactly true, too, of her.
And I just don't understand how some people don't understand that.
Well, the beauty of it is...
I don't get it. I just don't get it. How some people can't understand that. And here's the thing. Just so everyone knows, I'm the first one in my family to move away.
Right.
Everyone else in my family is there in Pinellas Park, Florida. Everyone else was there with my grandmother when it was time happened. My father retired tonight after all his years of work, and I couldn't be there.
Right.
And it's not easy to be the one that's not there. And for someone else to come along and just accuse me of forgetting his birthday, of someone else to accuse me of, like, being selfish with my feelings. It's absolutely more than I could take, because there's nothing more in the world. When my grandmother got buried on Monday. I stayed there. I flew back to Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. Here's the thing. My grandmother, almost 90 years old. That's cool. I say goodbye to her. We settled things. But I had to leave my family.
I know.
When they were at their absolute weakest. They had already lost someone, and then I had to look them in the eye and say, well, I'm off to D.C.
Right. Well,
all of that is on my conscience.
I know, buddy.
And for someone to say, for someone to make me feel guilty about what's going on my birthday, when, trust me, is this the place I want to be? Is this the place I should be? Probably not. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting.
Well, buddy, we're going to wrap it up tonight. And maybe, you needed to get some of this stuff off your chest. Maybe,
and probably.
I was thinking, well, you almost made it to the end of another show, but...
I got close.
Yeah, every year, you almost make it to the end before the wheels come off.
And then I have to start sputtering and, letting everyone know what I really feel.
But this year... You're not in the gutter, and your foot's not in the sewer, so every year it's getting a little better.
Exactly. Every year not in the gutter is a year better. Just remember that, people.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up tonight. I'm going to give you your keys, let you drive home.
Thank you. It's a straight line. It's Lee Highway. It's not a big deal.
Still, I'm worried. Drive fast. Call me when you get home, because you don't know how I worry.
I'm not even going to turn on the headlights so they don't even see me out there.
Smart. That's smart. All right, so it's happy birthday to Fez.
Yeah, it's a effing great one.
Luckily, Mikey didn't call it 7. Or
this would have happened beyond, right there at the beginning.
We would have had 4 hours.
Yeah.
But anyway, probably was good for you.
I hope so.
And
but the big thing is I won't remember it tomorrow.
Oh, the listeners will bring it up to you. Don't worry about that. I'm sure that damn Mikey boy's putting it on some kind of JPEG, MP3, whatever the hell.
We got Lois Lane in here writing things down.
All right, so it's happy birthday to Fez.
Happy birthday, Fez.
Thank you, Giant Brian. Giant Talk, Saturday night at 11 p.m. on WJFK.
Always the consummate pro.
You are pro.
We'll see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock. All right, that was Fez on his birthday. Do you remember any of it, Fez?
No. You know what? And now that I've heard it back, yeah, we probably shouldn't play it. This probably should have been done in some sort of meeting before the show.
Again, you could hear how not only were you, partied up a little bit, but also just exhausted. Let me ask you, did while you're doing this, flying back and forth between home and D.C. and being on the air now, did you hear anything from the management here? Did you get any flowers sent down there for your grandmother?
No, not a phone call, not a lily, not a daisy, nothing.
Nobody said, hey, is there anything we could do for you, Fez?
No. Nope, not one person.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and pick up the show. It's the Ron and Fez Show.